Hello. Welcome to this interview with a very distinguished man, and I'm very happy to have him here and be talking to him today. This is Ron Calhoun, Dr. Ronald G. Calhoun. He is the person who was in charge of the Canadian Cancer Society team that managed the Terry Fox Marathon of Hope. And Ron, I'm delighted to have you here. And I'd like to just ask you a couple of questions, and feel free to throw in whatever extra you want to, okay? Terry Fox and the Marathon of Hope, of course we have to talk about that. Tell me about how all that started.
Well, the Cancer Society created a new position for fundraising, and it was called Special Events. And I was its first national chairman of special events. My role for the society was to identify successful events in different provinces and migrate them to other provinces so we could maximize the potential on a national basis. So I was very busy moving ideas from one province to the other. When one day I got a call from Blair McKenzie, who was our executive director in British Columbia, for that division. Now, in the Cancer Society lingo, a division is a province. He called me to say that a young man had come into his office and he wanted to do a run across Canada to raise research dollars for cancer.
Research dollars.
Research dollars.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyhow, my first reaction was that I was so involved in transplanting good ideas from one province to the other, so I didn't know much about a cross-Canada event, because if you undertook such a thing, you would have to have the complete buy-in of all the divisions.
Of all the provinces.
Of all the provinces,
yeah.
So I said to Blair, after a brief discussion, it's very challenging and interesting, but if he wants to do this, he'll have to do a few things before we go to the next step. And that would be, he'd have to get his flight from the west coast to the east coast. He would have to arrange for a vehicle to be at the east coast that could be driven across the country. He'd have to arrange to get somebody to accompany him as a driver and be a companion. He'd have to get accommodation lined up in the event that they had to stay in motels from time to time. He would have to arrange for his food so that they could remain at the table, and that he would have to do anything else that would be, involved in such an event. I said, when he's done that, we'll have another discussion. And I thought to myself, that may not happen, but we'll see. So I went back to the task of identifying good events from one province, migrating to others. And 3 or 4 weeks later, I got a call from Blair again to say, Ron, he's back. By the way, he's an amputee.
And that's the first you knew, that Terry Fox.
That's the first the society knew. And
that he was an amputee.
And because when he walked in to see Blair, he had long trousers on, and he walked so well, and he didn't let that identify him.